What's up, crypto tubers? It's Jimmy J, aka Cryptographic, with another value proposition for all you people out there. Sorry that I've been offline again for another few days. I've been really snowed under with a few Hackintosh projects. But I wanted to make a video especially for those newbies out there, people who are new to crypto, especially some of you guys that are maybe thinking about coming in, still sitting on the bleachers, still thinking that it's all just pretend internet money. I want to encourage people that, it really doesn't take much these days to get in there, and the possibility of incredible gains with, not so much initial investment is really high. So wanted to maybe make it a bit easier for you guys. I hope you enjoyed my last video about Living Room of Satoshi. I think that's a really cool project there. It's a pity it's only for Australians. I don't know if they have something like that in America or whatnot, but just, the ability that we have now to basically say goodbye to banks for good. I mean, it's a reality now, that we literally do not have to deal with banks anymore if we don't want to. We don't have to wait for some shitty Western Union transfer that takes 7 days from another country, or pay these mammoth fees, although Bitcoin's fees are getting up there, as we saw with Living Room Satoshi. But, we are truly the masters of our own finances now, if we choose to be. And I understand that it's a bit of a scary thing for a lot of people, but, a lot of the stuff, the reality is that now, Bitcoin or Ethereum, a lot of these high market cap, blue chip kind of currencies are actually quite safe. It's not as volatile, it's not as speculative as it was in the beginning. We have seen very clearly now that the blockchain is going to revolutionize many areas, not just finance, but many areas of our life. And if you're sitting there and you're wondering whether or not this is all the real deal, I can guarantee you, if you decide to sit on the sidelines for too long, within a couple of years, this stuff's going to be mainstream. You're going to be hearing about it, and you will eventually almost have to get into it anyway. I mean, the amount of huge companies and corporations and even governments that are getting on board with blockchain and that have seen the value in blockchain is just astronomical. So don't delay. It is not late, no matter what you might feel. You are still early adopters. We are still early adopters of something that is going to be, 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 fold what it is now. So we can only go up from here. Bitcoin, I don't believe, is in a bubble right now. I think that what we've seen is basically just, the rate of adoption that we're having amongst your everyday people is just unbelievable. I mean, how many more people around you now are talking about cryptocurrency and the buzz of it and whatnot? I don't know what the statistics are at now, but I know that I think it was only a month ago that under 1% of the world was actually utilizing cryptocurrency and using cryptocurrency. So can you imagine when that number hits 5%? All these claims that John McAfee talking about cutting off his family jewels if Bitcoin doesn't hit 500 grand or whatever he claimed it was going to hit 150 grand. These claims are no longer looking so outlandish. And I think we're actually not far off that. I mean, Bitcoin is still, I believe, the safest thing to invest in. So I think you should definitely start there if you're thinking of investing. But look, the main reason of today's video is just to show you how to get onto Bittrex, and to show you how to basically live off your trading. You can very easily be in a position with a small initial investment where you're making enough money to do what you want with the rest of your time. This is now a reality. It's not the stock market and all this stuff used to be sort of out of reach for your everyday citizens, but this is no longer the case. This is far from the case now. So, I mean, any of you that are considering getting on board, now is a good time to do it. Anyway, all right, so let's have a look. We're over here onto Bittrex. Now, I don't think I need to include a tutorial of how to sign up to Bittrex. Bittrex is It will surprise any of you who aren't on Bittrex or who aren't on a trading platform. It will surprise you how easy and how quick it is just to set up an account. It's just like setting up an account for Facebook, although there's less. It requires less details. You literally just can put in whatever name you want and whatever email you want, and you have an account there. You have a trading account, and you have access to all these different currencies. So go on to bittrex.com, sign up there. However you choose to get your Bitcoin, there are plenty of different options for any Australians. Down in the links, you'll find a link to CoinSpot. That's who I use here in Australia. Their fees are a little bit high, and it is, to be honest, a little bit frustrating, but I'm happy to support an Australian digger trying to grow himself and trying to put himself out there in the crypto world. CoinSpot, I find, is very convenient. They have access to a lot of coins for fiat. They use Australia Post Polypay. And yeah, look, it's just convenient. It's easy. The other option that you have, which is probably going to be the main option for most of you guys who aren't in Australia or even are in Australia, even those guys that are wanting anonymity, this will be the best option for you. But there's a site called localbitcoins.com. If you head on over there, there are various vendors who will sell you Bitcoins for fiat currency, be it a cash deposit, be it a bank transfer, be it a meeting in the car park of a shopping center with cash. There are people out there who will sell you Bitcoins without requiring ID and all of the other stuff. I think what we're finding in Australia is a lot of these Australian businesses have these very detailed ID verification processes that I believe, I have a hunch that might be something to do with ASIO and the government. We know that Australia is logging every exchange that they can between AU dollar and Bitcoin. So it can be a bit annoying, but look, at the end of the day, it's worth it. Don't let that put you off from getting on board and investing. I mean, just off the top of my head, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Neo, buy some IOTA, buy some Amaisgo, some Monero. There are plenty of options out there that are very safe, very blue chip, and they're pretty much guaranteed to net you returns, guys. Really. I mean, there's just too much invested in them at this point. It's just too much going on for these things to just fall off the map, as I hear people saying a lot. What if it just disappears? What if it just, Bitcoin, Ethereum, these things aren't just going to disappear. Yeah? I don't know if you're talking about whatever shitcoin on Cryptopia or whatever, they might very well disappear overnight. But it's not hard to go on CoinMarketCap and check out all of the big market cap coins and decide to play around only in the top 10, top 15 kind of thing, and you'll be very safe in doing that. So we'll come on over here to Bittrex now. This is the main method that I use. I've mentioned it before in my channel. There's a couple of different ways to do it. It's called the golden cross method. So this is something that's been around in the stock market for quite a while. It's quite a simple way to do things. But look, basically what I would recommend for people is that when you start investing in cryptocurrency, the first thing you do is you buy some Bitcoin to start with, and then you choose yourself a couple of other promising coins that you're interested in. Neo is a very good one, and you just invest some money in those coins. You download the wallet that's specific to that coin. I mean, there's no single wallet specific to Bitcoin. I recommend you get a LEDGER NANO S for Bitcoin or any other hardware wallet. There's a link down below for the LEDGER NANO S. But you get one of these. Wallets that, Neo has the Neon wallet, which is now seems to be the accepted one. You buy these coins and you leave them in those wallets. You forget about them. You don't watch the ups and downs. You're not trying to sell them when they're high and buy back when they're low. You will leave the majority of your investments. You should leave them in that coin and not worry about them in the day-to-day. Now, for some people, myself included, the lure of day trading is just too strong. So what I do is I take between $1,000 and $2,000. Those of you that know me know I prefer not to have over 2,000 in my Bittrex account at any one time. I'm sure all of you have heard that it's not a good idea to keep your currency on exchanges for too long. So I recommend you get a small amount. Once you've invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Neo, whatever big promising market cap coins that you can get. Maybe IOTA is a good one that's cheap that you can get a lot of, that's very promising. Maybe go for a couple of coins like IOTA, GNT, XEL, some of these cheaper coins that show promise. Look into the developers, look into the creators. Are they active? Do they communicate with people on Reddit, on Twitter? Do they have frequent releases? We've gone through the GitHub stuff thanks to great people on YouTube like Ivan, the programmer, who explains a lot of that stuff. We know that we can go to the GitHub of any given cryptocurrency, look into the releases and the commits that they have there, and make sure that all the developers are staying active on that. And then have some fun, guys. Use your better judgment. If you think it's something that has a real world use case, if you think it's something that could very well be picked up by people and could become useful to people in their day-to-day lives, the possibilities are endless. I'm sure you will already know, all of you only need to go onto any social platform and ask, what should I invest in? And you'll get 100 people each with a different coin, and they're all sure that it's going to the moon, right? So that immediately shows us that you cannot base this on what other people say. You're going to have to, if you want to be playing this game, you're going to have to start doing your own research, yeah? Very important to do your own research. So, look, we'll come over into Bittrex here, and we'll go to my baby Neo, who you guys know that I love. I've recently proclaimed my love for Neo and asked for Neo's hand in marriage. We'll be walking down the aisle very soon. Neo, by the way, is at a great point for you to pick up some now. A lot of people, a lot of smart money have been waiting for this time, and those who know what's up are using this dip to get back on board with Neo, I can tell you that, because it's only a matter of time. This will double easily by the end of the year, if not more. Anyway, so looking at Neo here, I know I've explained it, some of you will already know, but we're going to go to the chart here. We're going to make sure it's on 30-minute candles over here. And then we'll go, as I did to studies, click moving average, change the frequency period to 13, the type to exponential, change the color to whatever you want, call this one blue, and then we're going to go again, studies, moving average, change this period to 34, exponential, and change that to whatever color you may want. So there are many different frequencies to use for this method, and different people have different numbers. I've found that out of all of the numbers, this frequency on the 30-minute candles with this frequency, I saw it first on Trevon James' channel. Shout out to Trevon James. And I found that it matches very well for the technique that I'm about to show you that I use. Just the timing of it, it seems to be quite safe. It's quite easy to calculate the range with it. And as you'll see in a second, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of trying to work out your entry and exit points on various currencies, right? So right now Neo is good because it's had a lot of fluctuation. It's sort of jumping down to various levels and then fluctuating around there for a day or so and then moving either up or down to another level. So if we look at Neo today, since midnight tonight, we can see that it's hit a bottom today of 850k Satoshis, and it's hit the top there of 92.5, 925,000 Satoshis, right? So straight away, I'd look at that, and if Neo was what I was trading, which at the moment I'm not, because I bought back in. I was in at Neo since $9 Australian, and I bought back in up higher than this, yeah? It started to dip, and it dipped down here, and I thought, right about here on the 17th, I thought, surely, it can't dip any more than that, and picked some here. I thought it was going to bounce back up. So I'm below what I bought in on right now, so I'm just leaving it, but I'm not worried. I'm not stressed about it. But you know, it's obviously I'd like it to jump back up because this is my Bittrex account. This is the money that I prefer to leave open for trading. So what I might say usually is that if it comes back up to somewhere near where I bought and I take a small loss, I don't mind that. You know, like I don't mind taking a little loss because I know that I can get that back with other trades. I mean, this method, no method that anyone gives you is going to be foolproof. But this one is quite safe, and this one has consistently shown me good returns within a day. But anyway, what we're going to look at here is the blue one we created, the 13 candle frequency moving average, exponential moving average, and the orange one is the 34 candle. So whenever this 13 candle average drops down sufficiently below the orange candle, these are situations where you want to buy, right? And when it climbs back up over, you want to sell again. So let's say right now you've got a grand in your Bittrex account. Let's say you want to start out small, you want to do $500 worth, right? So $500 worth is about 0.1. If we're talking about AU dollars, 0.1 something it'll be. I'll just say 500 AU dollar to Bitcoin. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly 0.1. So let's say you want to put 500 down to each bet. So we've got exactly that in there now. But let's just say we wanted to buy Neo at the ask, which right now this is not a time I wouldn't be playing with it right here. Yeah, it's not enough of a drop to buy into it right now. If it was at the bottom of these candles here, I would consider it. But mainly I keep this to within each day, right? And you will find that every coin on any given day will have a range that it stays in for most of that day. And more often than not, like I said, nothing's foolproof, but more often than not, that coin will reach the top and the bottom of that range a couple of times in a day. Okay, so this is what we're trying to capitalize on. This is not going to make you $1 million straight away. The title of this video is how to live off your trading, right? How to make a living off your trading, right? So what we'll look at with this here, let's just say it was at the start of this range down here at about 860K, and we want to buy 0.1 worth, so that's going to be 11.5 Neo, okay, and we're putting in 0.1. So if we come back over here, and we'll round it, that's 11.6. So if we come back over here, let's say we were to then sell that when the moving average crossed above that line again up here. Let's say just to keep it a bit within the top and bottom, let's say 91.9, 92, yeah? 92. We were to sell that, we would get 0.0064 Bitcoin, right? $0.0064 Bitcoin to AU dollar. So that's 31 or 32 Australian dollars. Yeah, you've got $2,000 in your Bittrex account. So you want to do 3 to 4 of these trades a day, and you're getting $90 to $120 a day from trading. This is what I do now. Yeah, and when I need to pay a bill or something like that, I pay it through Living Room of Satoshi. It's all done. I have other money that I make with my computer business. I try and put as much of that back into investments, into long-term investments as I can. I don't put any of that money into Bittrex, yeah? The Bittrex, I build it up past about 2K to about 22, 23. Then I pay a bill, pay something with it, drop it back down to about 1,800, rinse and repeat, yeah? This is the money that I'm playing with. That other money, you're not thinking about that for years, right? You want to, maybe you set yourself a target, but you don't want to think about that for years, yeah? But this might feel small right now, and especially with all the madness that goes on with these Telegram groups with pump and dumps and all this kind of stuff. you might think to yourself, you know, like, it's not enough for me. But like I said, this is $100. So if you do this each day of the week, and this is not about, look, this is the most important, the other thing, probably the most important thing about this that I can tell you, and the most important way to do this is not a method that you want to use if you're going to be sitting there watching the screen the whole time. Yeah? You want to, and you can start small, start with a smaller range, just stay in a closer range, and you will start, with time, you will start to trust your choices more and your decisions. You will start to have more confidence. And this is a method that you want to be using, setting your limit, yeah, setting your sell price. You choose your range, you calculate your range with this golden cross method. You set your sell price, and you leave it, yeah, and you walk away, yeah. And I've had 9 times out of 10, I come back and it's sold, and it's $30 has just clicked over, you know. And I do this with a few different currencies every day. So sometimes you come back and it won't. It'll be low or it'll be high. If it drops out of that range below, cut your losses and move on. It'll be a little loss, and you just make it back, because more of these trades work than don't. And that's what any day trader or whatever frequency trader will tell you, is that some of their trades will work, some of their trades won't, yeah? But as long as you're making more profit than loss, then you're doing fine, all right? So, look, guys, I've been thinking about it. This is, I believe, the best way for people to start to get into day trading if it's really what you want to do. It's not the best way to trade. The best way to trade, as I said, is just to leave that money in there, or do something like our boy Bite Size Bitcoin suggests, and go for the dollar cost averaging, man. That shit works every time. You know, you set yourself a time every week, like say every Friday when the market lulls, when everybody's selling off for profit, you put in the same amount of money every week. $100 a week on Neo, or $100 a week on whatever you want. Sometimes it'll be a bit higher, sometimes it'll be a bit lower. But the idea is that over time you average to a good entry point with it, yeah? So, guys, thanks for listening. Chuck me a like, chuck me a subscribe. I've really enjoyed seeing the support from you guys, so I appreciate that. I hope this helps someone today, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers, Jimmy J, Cryptographic. Peace.